The NBA Most Valuable Player Award is the most prestigious individual award an NBA player can win. There is a type of MVP award in each four of the major American sports. While some leagues have one MVP for the entire league, like the NBA and NFL, some leagues have MVPs for each conferences, such as the MLB. Today, we'll be looking at the decade of the 1990s to see who would have won the MVP if there was an MVP for each conference every year of this decade. I've already done this for the 2000s and plan to do this for every decade in NBA history, so make sure to subscribe and watch all the other videos in this series if you're interested. Okay, let's begin. In the year 1990, Magic Johnson won the league MVP while playing in the Western Conference, and this season the East MVP would have been Charles Barkley of the Philadelphia 76ers. Magic wins the West MVP this year as he averaged 22 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists, and 2 steals on 48% from the field and 89% from the line, while leading the Lakers to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, 1 year after Kareem had retired. Barkley, however, is a more unexpected pick for this award, as most people would have expected Michael Jordan to get it, but Barkley gets it as he averaged 25 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals on an incredible 60% from the field and 75% from the line, as he led the Sixers to second seed in the East. In 1991, Michael Jordan won the league MVP while playing in the Eastern Conference, and this season the West MVP would have been Magic Johnson of the LA Lakers. Magic gets his second consecutive West MVP of the 90s, as this would be his final season before he would be forced to retire due to HIV, as this season he averaged 19 points, 7 rebounds, and an incredible 13 assists a game on 48% from the field and 91% from the line, while leading the Lakers to the third seed in the West. In the East, Michael Jordan was starting to become head and shoulders above the rest of the NBA, as this season he averaged 32 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals on 54% from the field, 31% from 3, and 85% from the line, while leading the Bulls to the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. He would lead the league in scoring this season, as the NBA Finals would eventually take place between the West MVP and the East MVP, where Jordan would win his first championship and first Finals MVP. In 1992, Michael Jordan won the league MVP while playing in the Eastern Conference, and this season the West MVP would have been Clyde Drexler of the Portland Trail Blazers. This season would be dominated by the two best shooting guards in the league, as this season Drexler would average 25 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals on 47% from the field, 34% from 3, and 79% from the line, while leading the Blazers to the number 1 seed in the West. In the East, Michael Jordan wins his second consecutive East MVP, as this season he averaged 30 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals on 52% from the field, 27% from 3, and 83% from the line, while leading the Bulls to the number 1 seed in the East. This would be the second consecutive season where the West MVP and the East MVP met in the NBA Finals, and would also be the second straight season where the East came out on top, as Jordan would lead the Bulls to their second consecutive championship, as he would win his second consecutive Finals MVP. In 1993, Charles Barkley won the league MVP while playing in the Western Conference, and this season the East MVP would have been Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. Barkley wins his second MVP, now having one for the West and one for the East, as this season he averaged 26 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals on 52% from the field and 77% from the line, while leading the Suns to the first seed in the West. Michael Jordan wins his third consecutive East MVP, and despite not winning the real MVP award this season, this is a very good argument that he actually had his best season during his original three-peat stretch, as this season he averaged 33 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals on 50% from the field, 35% from 3, and 84% from the line, while leading the Bulls to the second seed in the East. This would be the third consecutive season where the West MVP and the East MVP would meet in the NBA Finals, and the third straight season where Michael Jordan would show his complete dominance over both the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, as he would win his third straight championship and third straight Finals MVP, having potentially the greatest Finals MVP performance of all time, as he averaged an insane NBA record 41 points a game in the 6-game series. Barkley would also potentially be remembered with a lot more respect, as he would now have 2 MVP awards. In 1994, Hakeem Olajuwon won the league MVP while playing in the Western Conference, and this season the East MVP would have surprisingly gone to Scottie Pippen of the Chicago Bulls. Hakeem had one of the most dominant seasons in NBA history, as he not only won the MVP but also the Defensive Player of the Year, as this season he averaged 27 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks per game on 53% from the field and 72% from the line, while leading the Rockets to the second seed in the West. The East MVP, however, is a lot more shocking, as it goes to a Chicago Bull for the fourth straight season, but not the one we've seen the previous 3, as Jordan retired in '93 as Pippen led the team as he averaged 22 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals on 49% from the field and 66% from the line, while leading the Bulls to the number 3 seed in the East without their at the time 3-time Finals MVP. Pippen now being a league MVP would now throw many questions on Michael Jordan's legacy, as its detractors would say that the Bulls' 6 championship rings were more of a result of them having not 1 but 2 league MVPs on their team rather than Jordan's single dominance. Hakeem would get the last laugh though, as he would go on to win the championship and Finals MVP this season, completing a perfect season. In 1995, David Robinson won league MVP while playing in the Western Conference, and this season the East MVP would have been Shaquille O'Neal of the Orlando Magic. Robinson this season was an absolute two-way beast, as he averaged 28 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks, on 53% from the field and 77% from the line, while leading the Spurs to the first seed in the West. In the East, Shaquille O'Neal began his dominance at the young age of 22, winning his first league MVP, as he averaged 29 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks on 58% from the field and 53% from the line, as he led the Magic to the number 1 seed in the East. This would now be Shaq's 3rd MVP overall, as he already has won 2 MVPs in the 2000s, as we discussed in the previous video. He also now has 1 MVP for 3 different teams: the Magic, the Lakers, and the Heat. In 1996, Michael Jordan won the league MVP while playing in the Eastern Conference, and this season the West MVP would have been David Robinson of the San Antonio Spurs. Robinson wins his 2nd straight MVP, as this season he averaged 25 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks, on 52% from the field and 76% from the line, while leading the Spurs to the second seed in the West. Michael Jordan wins his 4th East MVP in his comeback season, as he averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals on 50% from the field, 43% from 3, and 83% from the line, while leading the Bulls to the number 1 seed in the East. And in fact, he not only led the Bulls to the number 1 seed, he led them to, at the time, the greatest record in NBA history of 72-10. Jordan would of course go on to win his 4th championship and 4th Finals MVP this season. In 1997, Karl Malone won the league MVP while playing in the Western Conference, and this season the East MVP would have been Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. This season, Karl Malone averaged 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists on 55% from the field and 76% from the line, while leading the Jazz to the first seed in the West, and also somehow managed to go this entire season without molesting any 12-year-old girls. Anywho, Michael Jordan wins his 5th East MVP as he averaged 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals on 49% from the field, 37% from 3, and 83% from the line, while leading the Bulls to the number 1 seed in the East, in a season where many people thought he should have won the actual MVP award. This would be the 4th time this decade where the West and East MVPs would meet in the NBA Finals, and it would be the 4th time where Michael Jordan would show his dominance as he would win his 5th championship and 5th Finals MVP. In 1998, Michael Jordan won the league MVP while playing in the Eastern Conference, and this season the West MVP would have been Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz. Malone wins his 2nd straight West MVP as he averaged 27 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists on 53% from the field and 76% from the line, while leading the Jazz to the number 1 seed in the West. And finally, Michael Jordan wins his sixth and final East MVP award in his Last Dance season, as he averaged 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals on 47% from the field, 24% from 3, and 78% from the line in a very turbulent season, while leading the Bulls to the #1 seed in the East. And once again, the West and East MVPs would meet in the NBA Finals, as for the final time, Jordan would show why he was the true MVP, as he led the Bulls to their 6th championship and 6th Finals MVP. In the 1999 season, Karl Malone won the league MVP while playing in the Western Conference, and this season, the East MVP would have been Alonzo Mourning of the Miami Heat. This was a very strange season, as it was a lockout-shortened season where teams only played 50 games, which is even more extreme than most lockout seasons. Because the season was so delayed and so condensed, many players were not in right condition to play a good part of the season. This collided by the fact that this was already the lowest scoring era in NBA history, made for this to be the lowest scoring season in NBA history by far. Karl Malone wins his 3rd straight West MVP as he averaged 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists on 49% from the field and 79% from the line, while leading the Jazz to the 3rd seed in the West. In the East, Alonzo Mourning wins MVP, and this would surprisingly be his 2nd MVP, as we discussed in the previous video that he also would have won the year 2000 East MVP. This season, he averaged 20 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 blocks on 51% from the field and 65% from the line, while leading the Heat to the #1 seed in the East. He also won Defensive Player of the Year this season. So, in recap, the West MVPs of the 90s would have been 1990 Magic Johnson, 91 Magic Johnson, his second, 92 Clyde Drexler, 93 Charles Barkley, 94 Hakeem Olajuwon, 95 David Robinson, 96 David Robinson, his second, 97 Karl Malone, 98 Karl Malone, his second, and 99 Karl Malone, his third. And the East MVPs would have been 90 Charles Barkley, meaning he would now have 2, 91 Michael Jordan, 92 Michael Jordan, his second, 93 Michael Jordan, his third, 94 Scottie Pippen, 95 Shaquille O'Neal, 96 Michael Jordan, his fourth, 97 Michael Jordan, his fifth, 98 Michael Jordan, his sixth, and 99 Alonzo Mourning. Also, have to add that 95 Shaq would now mean he has 3, and 99 Alonzo Mourning would now mean he has 2 if we're also counting the 2000s. Hope you enjoyed the video. We are most likely going to be doing the 2010s decade next. Goodbye.